Hello and welcome to the Philosophical Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Jordan, and today I'm only joined by Luca.
Hello.
And it's just us two today. Everyone's pretty busy doing work and stuff. I'm guessing anyway. But yeah,
Been a tough build up into the week of second lockdown here in the UK, so
yeah,
everyone's preparing and stuff.
So it's been a bit of a hectic one. Like some of us been like home late and things, and so we're the only two that have really been home at consistent times and stuff to be able to do the recordings.
Times, yeah.
And even that's like, if you'll keep up to date with the content, it's like we've been pushed out to now Tuesday, and we're meant to be doing this on Sunday. But everything hopefully this week will be regulated again, and we'll resume as normal. So we should be able to get our podcast back on normal time next weekend. Next Monday next weekend or Monday, depending.
Yeah.
But as I said, this is kind of like a short. Don't know if it's gonna be shorter yet. I suppose we always say this, and then it ends up longer than we think. But there's not as much news to talk about, I'd say, from last week. But we're gonna go over the news, gonna go over what we've been reading and watching, including like Luke is gonna be talking about Black Clover. As he's like a new time watcher, so if you're interested in hearing a new time watcher's opinion, then look forward to that bit. And we're going to be discussing, as you can probably tell if you have clicked on this video, our predictions kind of thing for the future of Bleach going into 2021, and mainly about our expectations for the 1,000 Year Blood War final arc anime, and like what we'd like to see from it. Maybe potential studios we'd like to see take it on if it isn't period, although I feel like it. Anyway, we'll get into that a bit later on.
How they'll adapt it mainly.
How they'll adapt certain bits. Will they extend certain bits? But we'll talk all about that at the end, or in our main segment. But let's start off with the news anyway. If people didn't know already, My Hero 2, Heroes Rising. That's the word, right? I get confused with Two Heroes.
Heroes Rising.
Heroes Rising released. The steelbook. I've got the steelbook. It looks amazing. I don't know how well it sold. I'm guessing it done well because a lot of people on Twitter have it and stuff. And that film is just like ridiculous. And to be fair though, at the same time, it did release on the streaming platforms, so that might affect its kind of like DVD sales, if you know what I mean. But no, it's good to see it's out.
I still haven't rewatched it yet. I need to do that.
Yeah, we got to go see it in cinema, and it was an experience. It enlightened. It was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah, exactly. And I just found out, I didn't know this, right? Apparently this was like last week. But did you know, right? Because this might tease you into buying the game. But you know One Justice 2? I don't know if this was a mod. I don't think it was. Bakugo's full cowling mode was in the game.
Was it actually?
No, yeah,
my god!
I saw a gameplay video come up and it said like Bakugo full cowling, and it looked obviously it was all like him. And I like usually if it's a mod or something for a game, they'll put in like brackets mod or something. But I didn't see it. But I didn't watch it at the time so I didn't want it to pop up on our recommended for our channel. But I was going to check it out after this. I should have checked it out beforehand actually, so I could chat about it.
I'm googling it.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I didn't know if that was like DLC they added and stuff. But I was like, usually, even if it's a game like that's old, I usually get pop on my timeline through Bandai Namco or something. But I was like, that is interesting. Luca will love that. If so, might even have to cop that game if that happens, just for that character.
Oh my god, I can't see any like mod tags or anything. I think it's legit. Oh no, in the description. Yeah, it's an amazing mod.
It's a mod. Okay. It did look nice on the front, like the visuals are done for it. I got even excited. I was like, literally just before we start recording it, I saw it, and I was like,
I'm watching a little clip of it now. It looks insane.
Yeah. Who knows? The film's only just come out like worldwide, and that next game might have it, or maybe they'll add it as DLC soon enough to that game. And if that happens, then it might actually be a cop. But yeah, moving on to other news. The biggest news of the week, basically, Demon Slayer is still killing it. From our last week, I think now it's reached it's like 15.7 or 9 or something, but it's almost 16 billion yen. It's reached the top 10 of all-time films in Japan, which is insane. It beat a couple films like Ponyo and stuff like that, and it's just its meteoric rise is insane. Although I did find out during this period there was like a movie day or something in Japan. So like apparently every year is like a day where like cinema trips are cheaper or something. So they all go out that day. But still, like the way Demon Slayer's picking up is insane. It makes me really excited. One, to see the film and just to see how the series goes as an anime only. And depending on how this film goes, I may have to read it because, honest to God, like it's tough avoiding spoilers, and I just want to know what happens now. Why it's this madly popular.
Exactly. But like the real, I think, like show will be when it drops in the West, how well it does in the box office.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that will like set the stage for like not only the future of like Demon Slayer, but like movies as a whole for anime.
Anime films and stuff coming over and things like that. No, definitely, because if it sells even half as well as out there, then it will be like a phenomenon, you know. And like, I still can't imagine, just from obviously living in the UK or like living abroad, right? I still can't see it beating, say, Dragon Ball Broly, like, you know, like a Dragon Ball film or something like that. Like, I still feel like Dragon Ball just still has like such a big hold in terms of like, it's just massive. And I don't, if I'm being real, I don't even see as many people talking about Demon Slayer as I did about My Hero or Attack on Titan when they came out. But then again, it's a different story because I've heard in America it's insane. You know, like you had all them celebrities and stuff chatting about it. So yeah, again, this is why I think we're so like fascinated to see how well it does when it releases worldwide, and obviously ourselves, we're excited. We'll definitely be trying to go see it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I'm looking really forward to it. Like I said, I'm not like the biggest Demon Slayer stan kind of thing or anything. Like in terms of like, I like it, but like I don't like it as much as say like I like Bleach or One Piece or something.
Yeah, we were discussing this the other day. Well, we discussed it a little bit in the podcast, but then we discussed it after that. We basically just said like we've only seen the first season of Demon Slayer has been the intro.
Yeah, definitely.
But like even by intro standards, like there's ones that we prefer.
Definitely.
More.
Yeah, like intro arcs and stuff like that. Definitely. Like but at the same time, I'm happy to see how well it's doing. You know.
Yeah.
Like because it shows. I know it might only be a one-time thing for a series, right? But it goes to show that like that these properties, like as everyone calls them, and like I'm a fan of all three, so I should really be sticking up for it in a way. But One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, that these aren't like untouchable, and Dragon Ball and stuff, like they aren't untouchable. You know, like a new series can come in and be just as popular, or just as like have just as much as like a cultural impact. Like
the more success one series has, it then brings attention to other series as well. So like
definitely,
all for the success of Demon Slayer.
Yeah, this is it. Like it's how like the big three brought attention to series after it, and like that they left such a big impression, and that's why it's more popular nowadays, kind of thing. And Demon Slayer will have like another effect, like with those kind of sales and those kind of like popularity in Japan at least. That series ain't getting forgotten about for a long, long time. You know, like that's going down as like a classic. I mean, Studio Ghibli films go down as fucking classics, and it's beaten out in box office, and that's just for one of its films. Like, if one comes out in like 2 years' time, will it be as good? That's what I'm interested in as well, kind of thing. Because obviously, I feel like they'll potentially do it again, obviously with this success.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it fascinates me. Like, I would love to know like the reason behind it, but I doubt we'll ever know because that's just something, that's like I don't know how well it got advertised out there or how much like why people love it so much. Like it seems to just appeal to everyone out there, kind of be one of them like general, just a general appeal. Not even like when I say that I mean like not even just to. It doesn't seem anyway just to anime and manga fans. It just seems to be like the general population love it.
Yeah.
Like I think I can't remember if we said it in another podcast, but I kind of compare it to like almost Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones is like a fantasy setting, right? But even people that aren't really into fantasy or say into like I don't know how to compare it to another series, but like Elder Scrolls or Lord of the Rings, like that fantasy thing. Even people that aren't into that love Game of Thrones or like were into Game of Thrones. So that's how I kind of see how Demon Slayer is in Japan. And that interests me as to why. But at the same time, fair play to it, because I think it is a very good series, and I hope it's as good as the hype they're giving it, kind of thing. It makes me very excited to watch the rest of it, but without, obviously, overhyping something will always lead to disappointment. But I'm just excited to see the rest of it.
Yeah, it's been hard not to overhype it, but I'm doing my best to keep expectations as grounded as possible.
Of course, yeah. Just remember, like, how it started, where you think personally the series will go, because, like, blowing it out of proportion because of popularity it will be a horrible, well, not a horrible disappointment. Hopefully, it will exceed our expectations. That's what I'm hoping on it, honestly. But yeah, we'll just have to see. It's such a big talking point, Demon Slayer. It's hard not to talk about it, you know. Especially in the anime community nowadays. But yeah, excited to see that. But yeah, I don't really have like a lot of news to talk about. Trying to think, there was something else that came out, but it might come to me later on in the podcast. But no, why don't we just move on to the discussion kind of thing. We'll talk about like, what we've been watching or reading.
Oh well, I can say that there was originally planned a 2-week break for in November.
Yes,
yeah. But that's been cancelled now, so 4 weeks of chapters throughout the month.
Yeah, except for One Piece, because that went on a 2-week break this week, which isn't shocking. But no, I hope Oda's doing well, because I know he was really panicky and stuff. I heard on Twitter and that, like, he's been probably apologetic, and because he really wants to get chapter 1000 before the end of the year.
Yeah, he's a sweetie pie.
He is, bless him. But because of that whole illness scare or something, I'm not sure if it was confirmed that it was like a COVID scare. But yeah, because of all that, it kind of got all drawn back, and he was obviously like very apologetic about it. But well, I just really hope that this 1000th chapter is like as groundbreaking as I'm expecting it to be. Talking about expectations, but man, that 1000th chapter, I've never seen him hype up a chapter like that. Like in terms of like a countdown or something. I know it's the 1000th chapter, which is insane. But like
everything else he's been doing as well, around the way he's been talking about Wano, like how he's had it imaged in his head for years, and like yeah.
I'm really interested. I mean, I think a lot of people predicted it, and I'm predicting about it jumping back to the Reverie in that chapter. I agree. I think a big twist will happen at the end of Wano, and then it will go away from Wano, and it will be like an introduction again to like a kind of part. What is it now? 3 or 4 of Reverie.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
I think it'll either be Reverie or someone will turn up at Wano that we did not expect. I think it will be one of those two.
If that happens, man, it will blow my fucking mind if someone like just completely imagine like Sabo turns up. Like that would make no sense, but then like we get the whole backstory for 15 chapters. But then like it would be insane. But no,
we're still waiting for this Kaido backstory.
Honestly,
we wanted some Ace flashbacks as well.
Holy shit!
Because that Otama's been talking about him.
Holy shit, do you think Kaido's going to turn up? What the fuck?
Do you think Ace is going to
turn up? Oh my god. You know what? We made like some baseless theories that we think Ace is alive, right? And I've seen more and more people doing it on Twitter. And I'm like, oh my god, this is actually going to be an agenda. Like the Ace is alive agenda. Oh my god. I hope, you know what? With Oda, anyone can survive. In a way, as much as I love him, I hope that doesn't happen. Like, you know, it's kind of
like it's settled now. Like the dust has settled from it. You know, it's like
oh man, not another Pell, please. I loved Pell, but him. It sounds bad, but him not dying there kind of ruined the character for me.
I fully agree. I remember reading it and sending a panel of when he blew up. I was like, damn, Pell's in G.
That was a beautiful death.
I was really sad.
I was sad when he fucking come back. I was like, what? What? I was like, man just took like point blank an atomic bomb to the face. Man must be tanking in Kaido. Honest to fucking god, like. Oh. To this day, everyone's like, oh, but he might have dropped it. I'm like, my guy, this is a bomb that would have blew up Alabasta. Like, what the fuck do you mean he might have dropped it and got a bit of distance? Like, oh my god, I can't get into that. But no, No, yeah.
We'll talk about that another time. Anyway, shall we move on to
story for another day?
This week then?
Yep. Do
you want to talk about Haiyku first?
Oh yeah, I could talk about like, all the recent series and that. Yeah. Haiyku, pretty hype. It followed that team again. Nekoma, who were basically like the Tokyo representatives, but everyone loves Nekoma. Basically, they're like the main team's main rival team kind of thing, like into the AC. But okay,
got you.
As a backstory for Luca or anyone that hasn't read Haiyku, the general story is them teams, even though they're rivals and they always face each other in like pre-seasons, say like in friendlies, and it's always kind of heated because they want to win. They've never actually faced at the official tournament because they come from different prefectures, so their tournaments are never against each other, and the only way to face each other is to go to nationals and face each other there. And it says before that these two legendary coaches always had it out at each other kind of thing, but they never got to face each other in that tournament. In the nationals, they both got there once, but they didn't get to face each other. And now it's happening again, and they're both at nationals. And oh my god, I'm crying that they and now basically so they followed. So we were in a match with Karasuno, the main team, and then it kind of went away, and we followed Nekoma's match as well, and it ended like because they kind of started earlier. So we saw the end of their match, which was fucking sick. I love Kenma. Kenma and Kuro are my fave boy. Or like, well, Bokuto is my main boy. Like. But Kuro's like my second favourite, and I love him. He was brilliant. Again, but but then so they've got through, so they won their match, right? But then it got confirmed, and I wasn't sure because like imagine like episode 1, which was like months ago now. It showed how the rankings went, so like like what do you call it, like the tournament tree, like how they would have matched up, and I was like, wait. Because Nekoma won, does that mean if Karasuno wins that they go match him? And it is. So if Karasuno win this match now, they will face Nekoma in the next round. But at the moment, Karasuno are against one of the favourites for the whole tournament. So honestly,
one thing I've always been curious about with Haiyku, because I've not watched it or read it, but like, do they spend a lot of time fleshing out the other teams?
So yeah, I'd say so. Like So I'd say, to compare it to another series, a series called Kuroko, that does really good, in my opinion, in fleshing out other teams. Now, Haiyku, I feel, could do it a bit... I don't know if I could say it could do it a bit better. They, I think they do. Like, they give the character... I don't know how to put it. Like, Kuroko follow teams all the way through their tournaments and stuff, kind of thing. And Haiyku does that, but in other form, like in other ways. So like the thing is with the manga of Haiyku is they had like a whole arc for the Tokyo teams, and there's like three or four massive Tokyo teams. One of which is my favourite guy, Bokuto, is his team. You have Nekoma, and you have this other team which we haven't actually seen much of yet. And they have a whole arc dedicated to that tournament. But in the anime, it's really good. But they only give like 2 special OVAs, but they're really well animated and really fucking good. They're still like 2 of my favourite things ever made out of it. But
that's quite a big difference from manga to anime then.
Yeah, I don't know how many chapters it was in the manga. I don't think it was like a massive arc, but it was definitely longer. Like they had cut bits and stuff, you know? So that kind of hurts it a bit. But it's the way they make the characters. So as much as I say like, oh, I don't follow, say, Nekoma all the time, characters like Kenma, Kuro in their team are fully fleshed out. Like as an example, this episode, we found out so much about the characters. Like me and Amon were saying how, so Kenma and Kuro are like the main partnership in that team kind of thing. So we thought the flashback would be all about them, and then we find out that it actually ended up mainly being about Kenma and his fellow second years, because Kuro's a third year, so he's a year above him. And we found out so much more. Like we saw a whole different side to Kenma we'd never seen before, and we wouldn't have got to see without that. And like I said, like my favourite character is someone from another team called Bokuto, and that's just purely because of his personality, right? Like I think they've just got great characters. Like I don't even know much about Bokuto's backstory or anything, but I love his team because his team kind of like he's like the ace, right? Like he's like they need him to like finish the shots and stuff, right? but he's kind of got a childish mentality. Like, he starts playing worse, and then they're like, "What's wrong, Bokuto?" And he's like, "The stadium isn't big enough. I'm not happy." And he's like, and then it takes like he's like a child. Like, so Akashi, who knows him the best, like he's called a setter kind of thing. So imagine like a playmaker in like football or something to a striker, kind of like that, right? So he's called a setter, and he knows him the best. And the minute he hears that, he's like, "Oh no, Bokuto weakness 87." He's like, he's not motivated or some shit. And he goes up to him.
Does he have to get the imagination going?
Yeah, so basically the reason he's saying he's not motivated is because so obviously like in the Nationals, all these teams are playing, right? And usually you'd play in the big stadium, because there's so many games going on, sometimes you've got to play in this little stadium next door kind of thing, right? And he's in that little stadium next door. And then it took him going, basically, no, but imagine, he's like, in that big stadium, you've only got a set amount of people watching you, whereas in this smaller stadium, everyone is watching you. So actually, more people are watching you. And then he's like, holy shit, you're right. And then you see the other teammates in the background, like, it really doesn't make a difference. Like, no, that doesn't work. And it's like that whole team dynamic of like everyone else, like, this guy's a fucking idiot. But then they show how they still respect him, because on the court he's insane, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that. Like that was only like one little game we got. It was like last 10 minutes of one episode. But
is he the guy that screams "Rolling Thunder"?
No, that's Nishinoya. And Nishinoya's a fucking king. Oh my god, he's part of the main team, right? And I can talk about for hours, but he's called a libero basically. And basically, it's like a lot of short players are liberos because they're close to the ground, kind of thing, and like they can't hit kings. They are kings, right? Because basically their main role is receiving and rolling thunder, which is like saving the ball before it goes on the floor.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is like the first time, I'm not sure if you've ever seen that clip because you've heard that, right? But the first time he's like, rolling thunder, like the main character's like, holy shit, that's amazing. And then you just got like this guy called Suki who's just like, he's like, why did you shout? He's like, what are you doing? And he's like, but no, it's brilliant. And and Nishinoya, honest to God, I've said it for ages. I think I even said it before on a podcast. That man's MVP of that team, because without him they wouldn't be able to win games, right? Like none of because that team is consists of so many like newbies and first years, they can't receive as well. He's the one that like if they have someone who's like what's called like an ace server, so imagine someone who can just basically hit the ball really fucking well, right?
Yeah.
It's always Nishinoya that has to be the one to like they have to make a tactic around him to receive the ball basically. Because he's the only one that can receive it. Him and another character called Daichi, who's not as good as him, but he's just all round and more experienced. He's like a third year, he's like their captain. So, but like Nishinoya, man, he's the foundation. Oh my god, he's insane. But I've went off topic from the episode. But I hope.
It's alright.
But I hope
push some agendas. We can get the tags in.
And yeah, of course. But no, going back to because I didn't really spoke about the episode, but yeah, the episode was good. Again, I think I said it earlier. I know it was in with my Bokuto rambling, but I really like what they done with the Kenma backstory. I thought it was sick. Seeing him actually, because he always seems like such a calm person that kind of gets annoyed at silly things, but calm. And it actually had him going full on rage at his other teammate kind of thing. And you saw like a whole new side to him and how he's like thought processes. So, and it may, and I as a thing, right? He's not really that motivated guy, right? He's just really clever. They call him the brain of the team. So, like, everything ticks through him. But at the same time, he's not very athletic, right? He's a setter as well. So, like, he's a playmaker, but everything goes through him. And, like, he tells them, oh, this is what they're going to do. And usually it happens, right? And he's really good. But recently I've noticed him putting more effort, and the reason is because he's only interested in one player, and that's the main character of which is Hinata, and he's in Karasuno, and that's who gets to play next. So I feel that this is set up because we're going to see if they get through, and I think they will. They've got to Karasuno, even though they're facing one of the favourites. I know it sounds like, oh, it's got to happen, right? Because like from like main character plot point of view, right? But I have watched so many sports series, and especially this series, I've had them lose big games. You know, like it can happen because sometimes that's the point, right? So I honestly don't know what's going to happen in that match. I feel like it's got to happen because otherwise, I don't know. If I don't get Karasuno Nekoma now, I'll be pissed. But I feel like if that does happen, we are going to see a side to Kenma that we haven't seen before. And it's going to be insane because he's actually going to put like he's all into it basically. Because we already saw him putting a bit more effort than he usually done in that last game. So it's kind of like I feel like we're going to see a whole different side to Kenma. It's going to be insane. But anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on the episode. It's really good. I'm excited to go back to Karasuno in the next game. Like I said before, as much as I really like the way they make the characters in that series and the way they flesh them out, I wish we did actually get what you're saying, where we follow more of the team's matches for longer periods. But in saying that, I enjoyed the 2 episodes we got with Nekoma, and I really enjoyed the match. Yeah, I hope to see more of it. Hope to see more of the same. It was a solid episode. Jujutsu Kaisen, if we can talk about that as well, I suppose, while we're both here. Was pretty mad. That series, I mean, I've been pushing genders even in real life. Like, I'm trying to get my friends to watch it. But no, I mean, so far it's like, in my heart, this has all been 10 out of 10, right? I've been loving that series since like 2 years ago, right? Since it started. And to see what Mappa have done so far is brilliant. Like, I've been saying in the reactions and stuff that how it's recently with the fights, the pacing's been a bit quicker than usual. But I still think Mappa have got it bang on the head with the pacing so far. Like, they haven't cut anything as far as I remember, like anything significant.
What did you make of them extending that Megumi Sukuna beat down, shall we say?
Very good. It extended it in terms of, like, it exaggerated some points, or unless I was misinterpreting what was going on in the manga, right? But I've reread that fight a couple times, but I do not like, he got beat down, right? He did get beat down. He got thrown in the air and all that. But I don't remember him physically getting thrown through that many walls. It might have been one, but my guy, like, but no, it was sick. Like I said, I think I said it in the reaction episode to the episode before this one. How they've done Sukuna is so good. Like, I love Sukuna for his, as you've seen now, his charisma and stuff, and how he is, like, just a general way he talks. But somehow seeing it animated has made me like it twice as much. Like, I don't know why. Like, just seeing him do all this stuff, the way his actions are, the way I've animated his actions, and the voice actor, you know, so much of it.
It's so good.
Yeah, he's brought out the character like perfectly, right? Hopefully the dub one can do that as well, but we'll see if it ever happens. But yeah, so far he's brought Sukuna to life, man. I've seen more moments of Sukuna, so I thought it would take a while, but anime Sukuna so far has been so good that, like, I just want to see more Sukuna now. I want to see so much Sukuna, which we might not get for a little bit now, but we'll get some more next episode, but after that it might not be for a while. But no, interesting. It's been really good so far.
It's set up so many new plot points.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see how it paces itself from here now. Because like, we have the school festival or school sports festival that they were talking about.
Yeah. The Goodwill event. Yeah.
Is it the Jogo guy as well? Who has that plan?
Oh,
the guy in the coffee shop.
Yeah. You got the one-eyed guy. He's Jogo, and then you got the other one who's like kind of like a bit funny, like the human guy, the one that the person actually sees, is called Ghetto.
Okay, Ghetto.
Yeah.
So he's got this plan that's unraveling. Then Gojo as well wants to kill all the higher ups.
Yeah,
and then we have this meeting between Sukuna and Yuji to look forward to. There's so much that has been set up. It's crazy.
That's what I mean, and this is the thing, right? It's like I suppose in anime it's less thing, but when I was like less prominent because you can get series at a fast pace, right? But what I'm trying to get across is like that's how like the manga felt, right? Like I think I said it to you yesterday now, but I'll say it like now on the podcast because Like, I remember reading it and being like, there's so much happening, and I'd been like, I'm only like 10 chapters in. Like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? Like, and like, whereas like for some anime it might be normal to fit a lot into like, say 6 episodes. For me, reading it, I couldn't believe how much was going on, and like you said, like all the things that are setting up. But the the Sukuna Yuji bit next episode, I am looking forward to.
It goes back to what we were talking about with Demon Slayer as well, where we have like intros to a series. Like,
yes.
JJK and Demon Slayer are similar in the fact that you can compare them based on like their dark tone.
Yeah.
So like, based on the fact that they both have a dark start, like JJK introduction has been, like, for me, a lot better than Demon Slayer's.
So fair enough. Yeah. Well, I personally preferred it myself. But that's also because of, like, that's what I mean. Like, I said it to you, right? I didn't expect one of the fights that's going to start next episode. I saw it in the preview. Like, it's not a spoiler or anything, but there's a fight that's going to start in the preview. That's going to start in the next episode, right? And that's the bit that really got me into JJK. Like, really, really got me. Like, this bit all surprised me up to now, and in the next episodes where I was like, holy shit, these fights be different, kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to people seeing that. For me personally, I was the same, because as much as it was quick pacing, I never felt too lost. Sometimes the power things, like as you remember in the first episode when we was a bit confused about curses and stuff,
yeah,
that bit can be a bit confusing. I went back and reread some bits about that, because the power, I love the power system in JJK a lot, from what I've been explained in the manga and stuff. But some of that can be hard to keep up with because of the amount of characters that have it, how much it differs per character, and like how they're used, kind of thing. So stuff like that, especially when I was reading it weekly, can be hard to keep up with. But binging it, you might have like a better chance, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. We saw like after the last episode, I mentioned that, you know, Megumi had compared Yuji to the girl with glasses in the first episode. So I'm interested to see how that all works. But we spoke about that in the reaction review, so you can watch that video if you want to check discussion.
Out. Yeah, definitely. Went a bit in detail. I do keep it spoiler free, even though I'm manga. Luca and Emon are anime only. Lou isn't, but Luca and Emon are. So we try and keep it spoiler free.
Jordan and Lewis just like to watch me and Emon react to it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm so excited. This is the most. I think the only anime that's going to beat my excitement for this anime coming out is Bleach next year. I think that's the only one. But before that, I don't even know if an anime has got me this excited. Like, in terms of like, that's actually released.
What about Attack on Titan coming out?
That's true. Yeah, Attack on Titan was pretty hype. Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like, I can't believe how much I love this show, man. The fact that it's comparable to my hype on Attack on Titan is like just insane, kind of thing. It makes me wonder because I never even thought where I'd rank JJK above in my like series in my list. And I suppose I've got to wait to see how far it goes, like this series, because like I mean we've seen like this week with Chainsaw Man announcing they're in their final arc and stuff that JJK can just go like that, right? Like Demon Slayer done it, they just went, even though they could have definitely went on for longer. So it interests me as to whether, because this has been a massive arc for JJK, right? Like recently in the manga, so it interests me. I don't think this will be the final arc, but could this be some kind of build up to the final arc now? Who knows? But yeah, at the end, I'm definitely going to have to see. So far, I think it's actually up there. Like, I think it might actually break my... I don't want to say top 5 yet, but, like, top 10, definitely. I think. Like, I love this series. But, yeah, that's me rambling on a bit. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to you watching it. I'm looking forward to Emon seeing it. Like, seeing so many of these characters. Like, just seeing them on the screen and stuff, and, like, them being introduced is so great. Also, Inamaki getting Shigaraki's voice actor. I hope he nails it. I'm so looking forward to seeing him in action. I'm hoping we get... So my original prediction was that we wouldn't actually see him in action in the first half of this series. Like first half of the 25 episodes. Now with the pacing and how well they're doing fights and stuff, I think we might. And I think we might get some major moments before the end of the series 1 ends. But yeah, I really hope we get more after this kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the reasons as to why you stand him so much.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I can't lie. Like, I don't want to overhype Inumaki per se, because some people won't really like him. He hasn't had like majorly like loads of moments. Doesn't come like this major character. He's only really had like one fight, kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm just, to be honest, like, his power is what I think is the coolest. And the thing is, what I'm interested to see is, so in the manga, it all came down to what was in my head, right? Like the way certain, because his speech, right? Stuff that like they were doing in the manga was like, oh, I was hearing it in some kind of way in my head, right? So I'm seeing how it will translate in the anime. That's what I'm interested in. Like, if they'll make it sound as cool as I made it in my head, basically. I'm sure they'll make it look as cool. Yeah, I'm fascinated to see how they do his powers. And other characters that are coming in. Oh, like, not coming, but we've seen that are going to fight. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot. But yeah, I hope to see that soon-ish. And to see Yep.
I was just gonna. Are you done, or shall I move on to Black Clover?
Nope. I'll talk about JJK for hours. So yes, we will move on to how we're doing with Black Clover. So how are you finding it so far?
So I just got. I obviously won't spoil it for you, Jordan, because I know you have the volumes, and one day you may.
I may touch them.
May not read them. But I personally just got to the end of their first encounter with, I guess, the villain of the series, Licht. Or
I've heard of him.
However you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to spend some time with one of the new other Black Balls known as Gauche, I guess. Gauche. I'm gonna call him Gauche.
Okay, yeah.
He's really creepy, but like he's also like everything about him is like you know the characters that I like, the archetypes that I like, and everything about him is that character. But then he's also
really weird.
This really weird and really creepy.
Really weirdly
so,
character design. Is he like, this is purely by you saying like he's got like a unique character design? Is he the one? Because there's two that's got a unique character design that I've seen, and one that I really want to stand, but I don't know if I like him yet, obviously. But there's one guy that's got like, he's really pale and he's got like the mascara and stuff, and like kind of looks like a bit like a kind of, I don't know, like he kind of looks a bit
like a mime.
Yeah, like a mime. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
That's Gordon. No, that's not him.
That's not him. The one
I know you're talking about.
The one that I want to stand, but I don't know if I like him yet because I've seen his design. Is the one he kind of got like a mask, like kind of like not shark teeth. Oh yeah, like shark teeth kind of thing, like that kind of thing. And he's got like red hair, but I haven't seen him yet.
I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I really like his design and stuff. I didn't think he was called that. Yeah, I don't know this guy then. I don't know this guy. At least I don't know him out of
He's got like a fringe covering his eye.
Right.
He's got brown hair. He's quite tall. He wears a purple shirt.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I want to love him. But I just can't.
I just can't.
I can't bring myself to stand such a weirdo, but like he's dope.
Well, hopefully.
So yeah, Magna remains my favourite Black Ball at the moment.
Is he the one with the glasses?
No, yeah, baseball bat.
Yeah, he looks sick. I like him as well. His design is sick.
Yeah, he's still my favourite at the moment. I'm still like learning more about each of them as we go on. Like, but yeah, and the captains. I met some more of the captains.
Yami looks hot. Yami, I always see, and like he looks sick. Like he looks like that kind of character.
Yami is Yami reminds me of me, like not because I'm built like Yami. Yami's fucking
built
huge,
different.
but
he
shits
different.
a lot. He shits a lot, and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
God, that's relatable. God, I'm just like him. How he manages to keep the weight on, I do not know. It is what it is. Anyway, other captains. Yami is very, very cool. Very interesting power. Yeah.
I also met Nazel, who is the older brother of Noel.
Yes, I've seen him because I've got to follow someone that stands him hard on Twitter.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know much about him at the moment. He, like, in all of his appearances, he seems like a massive dickhead.
See, right, this is like obvious from an outside perspective, and I want to read it, right? I do, and I am going to read it one day. But when someone explains to me, like, Nozel just seems like a bit of a dickhead, but he's not really, and he's got Noel as a younger sister who he kind of, like, mistreats a little, but, like, not too bad. Just reminds me of Byakuya Rukia. Like,
this is it. This is what I was just about to say. It's giving me those vibes because, like, there's two other siblings as well.
Right.
And they're so much worse to Noel. So much worse.
Right, yeah.
So I'm sensing that Nozel is going to be that classic case of an arsehole with good intentions sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Fair enough.
Apart from that, I love his design and his power's really cool as well. So he's got a lot going for him at the moment. Also met Charlotte and Jack the Ripper as well. They seem to have... Nozel was more of his own individual, but like Charlotte and Jack seem to have like a funny dynamic with Yami. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of those three together.
Wait, is Jack the Ripper a captain?
He is a captain, yeah.
Wow, that sounds interesting. That's interesting.
He's like, I'm not comparing him to Geen, but you know, like how he looks sort of like, he's not a snake, but he looks like a mantis.
Snaky. Oh, okay.
He walks around like a mantis sort of thing.
Yeah. I get you.
He's pretty weird, but he's pretty funny as well. It's tough to rank the captains, like who my favourite captain is at the moment. I also met the lion guy for Gulion, I think his name is. He seems very likeable, but like it's like too obvious to like him, you know, because he's like Mr. But he's like really nice.
Yeah.
So I don't want to rank them yet because at the moment he seems like the obvious choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting encounter with the villain. The villain hasn't really got like charisma, I wouldn't say.
So,
he's just very, very powerful. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more. I've heard the next arc is pretty Noel heavy, which I'm looking forward to.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because she needs some of the good development.
Because someone would need that character development ASAP.
Yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, I guess my big takeaway from that is how much I like Gauche, but I also can't like Gauche.
Gauche, so it's tough. It's tough. You're hoping for more Gauche moments to like him.
Yeah, basically he's got an obsession with his little sister, and it's a bit too much for me.
Oh no, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, anime. Why you like this?
Oh, anime.
Oh dear. If it's not Ahsoka, it's this guy. Fucking hell.
He's not quite as bad as Ahsoka. But he is bad.
Oh my god. Oh well. To be fair, the more you talk about it, the more I do want to read it. But I need to get around to it. But it sounds good. It sounds like you're enjoying it, kind of thing. How many chapters are you in?
It's been a good.
Do you know?
Introduction. I think because the Mars fight was around episode 20, and I think it was around chapter I think it was around chapter 20 as well, because I checked it. Because
Pirot does
that
though.
The Mars fight had some.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mars fight had some really bad CGI, and I wanted to see what the panels looked like, so that's why I looked at the chapter.
Oh, I see. Okay. You've done the opposite.
That's a problem.
I'm so used to you reading stuff compared to watching it. I forget that this is the one that you were actually watching the anime first, kind of thing. I always forget.
Yeah. I just wanted, something else weekly to watch. It seems like it's going to go on for a long time, so.
Yeah, it doesn't like stopping anytime soon. That's usually, especially what happens when someone like Pirot picks it up, because that's what Bleach and Naruto and stuff were picked up by. So,
speaking of Bleach, shall we move on to the final section?
So we thought we would talk about, because it's us two and stuff, like everyone else loves Bleach as well, like in the podcast, but we thought we'd have a little chat about because we haven't spoke about it for a while, haven't seen it in a while, but haven't seen any news about it in a while in terms of other than Burn the Witch, we haven't seen anything about the 1,000-Year Blood War arc get like next year, even though it's meant to be 2021. So we thought we'd talk about our predictions, our expectations for it, in a way, and like what we feel like the anime can do that maybe the manga didn't, maybe. Not to say like we'll dislike it if that doesn't happen, but what we'd be interested in seeing happen. So first thing I want to say is I don't know whether to be concerned about the release date now. Obviously with COVID, lots of stuff got pushed back. Burn the Witch didn't know, to be fair to it. And the fact that this has been led up to for so long, the 1,000-Year Blood War, obviously there's been like an 8-year gap since the anime ended, makes me kind of think that potentially we're looking at a series that's already done. They're just going to put it out there when it releases, but maybe that's just me hoping too much. I don't know when it got approved, the whole project for the Bleach 20th anniversary. But because it's the 20th anniversary, it makes me feel like they might have had this ready since like the 17th anniversary, but then they thought we'll keep it for when the 20th anniversary hits, because they knew they still had somewhat of a strong following, because they were doing all these events, right, like beforehand, like the Bleach Jet art book thing, which sold out like mad, and all these other events, and it still got like, I can't remember now, I used to know, but it was like the sales and stuff were like still really high, despite the series obviously being over for like 4 or 5 years. So
there seems to be a theme with Bleach and Burn the Witch. They just do stuff and then don't tell anyone what is actually going on.
Yeah. They know the fan base is there, though, is what I'm trying to say. They know the sales are there, which is why everyone was like, "What the? Like, haven't you done it yet?" Like before the anime got announced, like, what doesn't make any sense. Like, that's just free money. That's free money. You must do it. But then it got to like every year we'd have a new thing, like the Bleach Jet art book and stuff, and like, because that was a massive thing. I don't know if you saw it, because I know you only recently got into it. But back then there was like, because this is why no one got hyped. Like everyone was like, because like for you, right, you and Lou and that, you were all like, well, it's obviously the anime, like the 20th anniversary project. I mean, it was like, it's called Bleach Face again. It's got all this stuff. They're showing the fact it's obvious, but you don't understand. Like before, when it was something called I'm Still Bleach, right? There was this like little campaign they done, and it was in the lead up to the Bleach art book that came out. And it was, I think it was the 15th anniversary. And it was all over Shibuya and everything like that. Like, it was like, like how we've seen like the advertisements for like My Hero and stuff recently. It was kind of like that, but like massive artworks and stuff. And it was sick. Like, people still have some of them things as like their profile pictures and stuff, and the I'm Still Bleach thing in their bios to this day, because it was such a cool little marketing campaign. But then obviously it got released that it wasn't like an anime coming back. It was just this. It was still amazing, this Jet art book, because it was everything compiled into one. And it's like as a Bleach fan, I've got it right there, right? And it's like the holy grail for a Bleach fan, right? It's amazing, but obviously compared to like an anime, it wasn't quite. Everyone, and that's when lots of people, including myself, started like kind of losing hope in it, happening. So whenever it come up, I just kind of immune to it. Like it wasn't like, well, we kind of become like a laughing stock in the face of like other people, like other fan bases and stuff, because they were like, oh look at this, it's not coming back, and it would be like Bleach or something. I know at one point one of the people, I think it was like Yonko or someone who's like quite a reputable news thing, posted a fan art and got everyone excited, saying that this got leaked. Look, I already knew it was a fan art. I've been in the fan base long enough to know that I have seen this before, right? But so many people fell for it, right? And everyone got hyped, and it all just fell through and made everyone look stupid.
It's kind of worked in your favour though, because like what you have now is a whole new generation of fans.
Yeah.
You have this anime coming out.
Definitely.
It's going to get so many new people on board, and you're going to have like a second wave.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Bleach Mania.
I'm really excited, like, just to see it all come back, man. And like, I'm not saying it's like hardships, like first world problems, right? But like, seeing like all this stuff happen, right, in the lead up, and for it to finally kind of happen, is just so satisfying. Like, something I genuinely never thought would happen is kind of happening now, and I don't know what to think of it. Even now, it's like we got it announced, and I was like, I was hyped, I was emotional, right, when it got shown. But we still don't have a PV. That's gonna hit me, right? Like that's gonna hit me when I actually see it for myself with my own eyes. Like even if it's like a 10-second clip, right? Like I'm imagining. Do you know what this is? Imagine to think I've been thinking about it, right? But my imagery is that the first PV we might potentially get, right, is gonna be. Do you know that at the beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War, the two Soul Reapers, as a poor Bleach fan, I forgot their names, even though they were in the book I was reading, right? But the two Soul Reapers, the boy and the girl, who went to Karakura Town. They were like replacements for the Afro guy, and they and then Ichigo saves them, and the girl's kind of like waking up, and she looks up, and Ichigo's there, and he's protected them.
Yeah.
I feel it in my bones. That's going to be the PV.
That will be the clip.
And it's going to be like her like phasily looking kind of thing. And then it's going to be like Ichigo. And it's going to cut, just like give us like... Because you know how anime PVs are like 10 seconds long? Like teaser ones. Yeah. So I feel like there's literally just going to be that panel of Ichigo with like his sword there and that. Like with his full bring outfit. And like him looking in. I think... Yeah, and it's
his sexy face.
And his sexy face. And like I think it's like Bleach chapter 460 or something. I can't remember like one of the chapter under it, but it's not gonna have that obviously. But it's gonna be that image, that panel, and then it's gonna be like then it might give us a release date. And if that happens, I know that's what I'm predicting to happen. And if it happens, I'll cry.
He's not joking. You will cry.
I will cry. I teared up at the announcement in the first place. And that was just a load of panels it being thrown at me with cool soundtracks. So, but no, yes. That's how I think it's going to happen. There's so much stuff I'm going to talk about, which we're going to talk about now, hopefully, that I can vent about. But yeah, that's my prediction for that. And just why I'm so excited for it, basically, as a long-time Bleach fan. And I'm also excited for like new Bleach fans like yourself, Luca. Like Lou, who he's not new, but he got into it like a couple of years ago, and as you said, like a whole new generation of Bleach fans, and just seeing all the characters back, people talking about it, people chatting about it, Burn the Witch coming out, and everyone theorizing about that. It's just, I never thought I'd see it again.
You know what's sad though? I'm not even going to be able to see my favourite character in the series.
Oh,
this season. He's not in it.
No, he's not in it.
I demand compensation. I want a light novel or something.
That would be so nice if we ever got a light novel for a character like him or something. That'd be incredible. I like the Can't Fear Your Own World, right? Which is like the novel, done well on like giving us more of a backstory on Tozen, right? Yeah, and it done it really well. So if we got something like a 4-on-1 for Gin, and that would sell. People fucking love Gin. Even in Japan, stuff was more expensive with him on it.
All the copies.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Every single one. Imagine if it gave you that like a little bit more, even if it's like a little bit more of like the Gin Rangiku relationship.
Oh my god,
that'd be beautiful.
That's how you make me cry.
Yeah. Make it even deeper, so when you reread it again, it makes you cry. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I've read it, but I've read it before, but it hits so much more now. It's one of them. But no, it's fun. That's what I mean though. Is like, I mean, I was going to talk about it later, but I'm saying now, right? Like, there's so much more of a buzz now because, like, what we were saying, like how anything can happen now. This is what I mean by like the reason an anime announcement is such a big thing, right? It's not like with Bleach fans, like we've been every year. We're like, oh, what's the next thing? Is it going to be a game? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be like a film, right? With an anime, I'm not being funny. Like I'm not overthinking it because I'm not expecting anything, right? But we could get all of this now. Because this could be a series that goes on. If it's Pierrot and they do it the same way they say they do Black Clover, this could be a series that they decide to do across, say, 3 years, right? And when there's an ongoing anime like that, like whether they split into series like My Hero or if they do it like Black Clover style, it will gain popularity because it's popular in the first place and stuff. And that makes me believe because every other series has had it, right? That means we're going to get other media like games. Like you just said, more novels, OVA specials, movies. Like, oh my god! Like
this is what I'm saying, and this is what we'll talk about as well. Yeah. Like they also have the potential to extend the source material itself. Because I'm sure there are parts that Kubo would have wanted to draw in, but because of all of the factors that sped up its ending, he couldn't.
Yep.
So,
and it really
this
makes
is his chance now to go wild again.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, it's like, I don't want to give unrealistic expectations, because I see people talk about it online and they basically like convince themselves that's going to happen, and I don't think I'm not. How do I put it? I'm not making myself expect that, right? Because I feel like then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. If you're expecting like a different ending, but I agree fully with what you're saying, because Kubo, even in the years Bleach wasn't announced, like the anime wasn't announced and stuff, he is always in there with Bleach-related things in terms of, like, he's a supervisor or something like that, right? The Bleach Brave Souls, right? I think it was 2 years ago now. Yeah, was it It was 2 years ago or a year ago. They had, I don't know if you've seen it, Luca, because I know you started recently playing it, right? But they had a Quincy Ichigo, right? And it's a unit. It was like a special anniversary unit they made.
I've seen someone use it at the end of for a boss battle.
Yeah. Well, that character, obviously a what if character, not canon at all. But even that character, Kubo supervised and helped with the design of that character to make it more thing. So he helped with Bleach there. He even now, like, I'm not sure if you've seen him as Brave Souls again, but like the all the Espadas now have designs where if they had the Hogyoku, so you have Ulquiorra, you have Noritora, you got all of them now, Stark, everyone, right? And they all look sick, all supervised by him. And even the even in an interview about Can't For Your Own World, it's written by a guy called Narita, and Kubo supervised it, and he was like blown away by it. He couldn't talk about it enough, you know. And it shows like he's quite passionate about it. He was like saying how like he was so glad that Narita got so much out of his source material in Bleach, and he couldn't believe that there's so many subtle hints and stuff he gave that this Narita guy then used. He couldn't believe it, kind of thing. And just seeing how involved he is again, and apparently he's even involved. I've heard rumors that he's involved with, like, the anime and everything as well, like all his 20th anniversary project. I'm going too far ahead. Not the anime of Bleach, that hasn't been confirmed yet, he helped, but apparently Burn the Witch, right? So the 20th anniversary project with Burn the Witch, he apparently sat there and made sure, like basically supervised the anime and made sure it was like what he wanted and what he was portraying was correct. So how involved he is now really makes me think that we could potentially get that, right? Where we could potentially get him be like, right, this is what I wanted to do in the manga, even though it didn't get done, got rushed or whatever, and we can do it now, you know? And I'd be so for it, because he deserves that, you know, in my opinion. Like, I can't say I hate Shonen Jump, right, because obviously they've produced so many series that I love. But that's always left a bad taste in my mouth, the way, like, they basically binned him, even though he had 15 years in the magazine, and had obviously made him so much money, you know? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is, isn't it? So it always confused me how they rushed him to finish it, even though it was like a 15-year project. But if this is his way of like being able to tell his full story, that'd be beautiful. That'd be brilliant, you know? That's what he tried to do with Can't For Your Own World as well. Like, he wanted to expand on more characters that he wanted to do. And his other novels, which haven't been translated into English yet, but hopefully one day. So
I'm sure they will.
And that's the thing, is that they've been releasing ever since Bleach ended, right, in Japan and stuff. So he is getting out there. He is trying to get his story that he wanted out there, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping on. Like, I'm thinking, like, you know, he's got, I don't know if you know, but I think he's got like 4 or 5 novels and stuff, right, like, on Bleach. And if they got like movie adaptations, even, you know, like, wow,
Each one of them would be huge, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh my god, like, there's one about Renji and Rukia, like their wedding and stuff. That shows all the things. That's when there's an emotional moment that happens. Actually, I'm not going to say it just in case. No, I don't want to spoil it just in case that novel does come out, like, in English kind of thing. But there is a spoiler that I know, but it's amazing. And yeah, there's so many of these great moments for characters that are in the series, you know. And if we got the chance to see that, man, it would be beautiful. But yeah,
and speaking of amazing moments, shall we now talk about some of the fights they could potentially extend in this arc?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I think the fights done pretty well in the first half and stuff. Like I still feel like all the fights were done pretty well, pretty fun.
Yeah.
But in the latter half, as we've said before, and even when you were reading it, we were just chatting about it, how like he done like the Urahara fight and all that like all so quickly, and I really love the Urahara fight to this day, right? But fights like, okay, I don't think the Urahara fight suffered as much as other fights did, right? And when I say that, I mean it because it got fully fleshed out and it finished properly. But like that fight with Valkyrie, right? Like Valkyrie, Toshiro, Byakuya, and Kenpachi all fighting him. He kind of just ended with Jowabuchi absorbing him, right? Now maybe that was going to happen anyway, right? But they never actually beat him, right? Which kind of makes me feel like I know it might be this anyway because that's what anime and manga does and that's what stories do. But it felt a bit like plot armor, right? Like because we honestly didn't think like it still doesn't get explained to us how the Soul Reapers were that overcame Valkyrie. Because Valkyrie was just kept getting stronger and stronger, you know? And like we saw Kenpachi go Bunkai and absolutely wipe the floor with him. But then as that panel showed of him getting absorbed, he still wasn't done. So if he's not done, his ability allows him to power up even more. So
also with Valkyrie as well, there was like a first half of that fight that kind of got off-screened.
Yes.
And then we turned up with Kenpachi and everyone. So like, if that got fleshed out as well, that even if it's like, even we know it's a loss for the Soul Reapers that were there that first half, but even just to see it would be amazing. Would be great.
And hopefully like stuff like that can definitely be added because like in anime in general you get bits like that. Like even if it's like it doesn't even have to be long, right? Like as you said, they got wiped, right? So like it could just be like a 30-second nicely animated fight clip, of him just like wiping the floor with him. But we'd love to see that because then we get more Valkyrie, if you know what I mean. It'd help.
Exactly.
It'd help give more character and make it cooler for the Quincy's and stuff like that, right? Because no one really is out here like really. I like Valkyrie in terms of because of how strong he is and how interesting he is, right? His power. But no one's out here like full on standing Valkyrie, right? So he has like an opportunity with that to like maybe add some more character to him and like characters like that and other Quincy's. Because that could completely change my thinking. If I found it more humorous like in the anime of like the way he chats and stuff, and like again just like how he deals with people when he fights, I feel like that could be more of a that could also help the adaptation.
I agree. And on the flip side of that as well, for a character that everyone does really like already, we have Grimjow who came in.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated. And then even though, again, he probably lost the first half of that fight, we didn't see it, you know? And people would definitely have loved to have seen it because we hadn't seen him in so long.
There's a few fights where I feel like they're going to get off screen because that's the whole reason they got off screen was for shock value, like Lavar and Ichigo, where Ichigo's just there and he's on the floor. But stuff like Grimjow, oh my god, like, everyone's been waiting for Grimjow, and it gets off screen, right? Like it's a bit strange. Like
Askin, the one that he fought as well, like
he's strong,
really liked him as well.
I love Askin Lavar. He's brilliant. Like, but again, I'd like to see more of him. Like, he actually took down Ichigo and took down Grimjow, like seemingly with ease. But yeah, I am interested in that. Like, because that's the thing where I was like, I feel like maybe I'm just too much like got too much bias, right? But I feel like saying that, say like the Fullbringers and stuff got wasted isn't true because I don't feel like they were ever meant to fight in that sense, right? They done their job. They went there. Without them, they couldn't have done what they'd done. But like the Fullbringers turning up, the obviously Nell and Grimjow turning up. Nell and Grimjow definitely should have got more, right? Like they definitely should have had more time.
Even more so for Nell as well.
Yeah, she come in and she had like not a new form, but she was like full powered up now. You know, like before where like she could only go to those forms at certain times. You know. We'd only seen her like use that form once against Noritora and stuff, and now she seems to have fully fleshed out the form. So, I have her full powers back. So I feel we definitely could have seen more of her. Said it before, but we could have seen more of Grimjow, other than like that finishing blow. But but yeah, like, and what was the other thing? I mean, the biggest thing was Ishin and Ryuzen or Ryuken, Uryu's dad. Them two turning up was a bit strange even to me this day, right? Because that was such a heat panel, right?
It was.
But nothing really came of it too much, you know? And I was really looking forward. Like, what if they were the ones that could have turned the tide against Valkyrie? What if they were meant to join Toshiro in that? Like...
Oh, true, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been insane. Maybe we would have seen Ishin's Bunkai or something. Like, maybe he got more of his powers back. Because obviously he had it, because he was captain. But... Like, yeah, there was so much we could have seen from that. And, like, I want, personally as well, I know Ishin's Bunkai, blah, blah, blah. I want to see Ryuken. I wanted to see him fight. Like, as a fellow Quincy. Kind of thing. Like, would have loved it. But even then, like I said, nothing really came out of that. Obviously, I think they added in at the end that they were obviously part of, like, the rescue party and stuff. That helped get everyone out of there. But I definitely feel like he definitely had more planned for them kind of characters. I definitely feel that.
Yeah, they gave them both like a very detailed backstory.
Yes, before it, yeah, exactly. Everything but the rain was brilliant. So I mean, that would be amazing. I just thought something randomly. I was thinking off Demon Slayer topic. You know, like how Demon Slayer, obviously they're animating the Mugen Train arc as a film.
Yeah.
See, this might be, again, this is probably never going to happen, right? But so like...
That arc.
So, yeah. So, the way they done it, I don't know if you know, but in the... Turn Back the Pendulum, in the Shinji bit, Shinji Eisen bit, right? And Everything But the Rain, they're both separate, like, they're both volumes, right? But they're full volumes of that full backstory, right? So, from page to page, they dedicate that volume to that, right? And... It kind of reminds me of like the Mugen Train arc in terms of, like, obviously it's shorter, but it's obviously a massive arc, right? And I was actually thinking to myself the other day, where I think if they'd done a Bleach 1000 Year Blood War and they done it in series, like series 1, 2, I was thinking where I thought they would end it. And I'm thinking, like, post the first Attack of Soul Society, / like his training bit, like, that could be a good place to end it with Everything But the Rain as a movie. And then leading on from there for the second series. You know? Like, I could see that. I mean, Everything But the Rain as a film would be amazing. That whole art animated, like, to that standard, with like the with the hollow and stuff would be epic. That would be amazing. Oh my god.
And this is why we're having this debate now, because we know so little about what they're actually planning.
Yeah, this is
how
it.
They're going to structure it.
And it's only next year. We're in November now, and we still don't have any more clues than what we had before. You know. And not even a PV. Well, okay, my prediction for a PV, our first trailer, and I'm hoping I'm right. Hopefully, it's either going to be a PV or it's going to be an announcement. It's delayed. But I don't care. I've waited years for this shit anyway. I'll wait 2 more years, right?
As long as they give you some nice artwork with the delay announcement.
Yes, Nuku art would be brilliant. Or announce what studio's got it, because I'm not even sure if that's been announced. Like, my thoughts.
I don't think it has.
No, because the whole reason apparently they could do it, right, is because Period, the reason they waited so long, apparently, this is like a rumour, right, is because Period's contract technically sort of run out, right? But Aniplex, who like owns all these like different studios, including Period, still hold it now. And they're the ones that were like, yeah, we're doing it. Like, but then at the same time, recently, it's just like, to be fair, they did it anyway, even before the anime was announced. Like, I went to the Studio Period Cafe last year before it was announced, and they had Bleach there. And there's been loads like those little events in Japan. But even now, like since the announcement, even there's been events of Bleach, like with like Bleach special promo things. I think I sent you some like that art with like Gin and stuff, like, you know, where they've got like the kind of black and purple, black green and stuff, like tracksuits and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But they're all Period. But
was sick.
But they're all Period. They're still Period. Like the ones that have made it, and like their little thing at the bottom is still Period. So like, are they still planning on making this anime, or have Aniplex outsourced it to someone else? You know, we still have no clue. At the moment, obviously, highest odds are it's going to be Piro again, right? But at the same time, nothing's been announced. I don't think we're going to get anything. But sorry, I don't think I actually said where I thought my prediction's going to be. But I think it's going to be at Jump Festa in December. I think that's where we'll get our first announcement.
That's a fair prediction, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of anime got announced. That's where Doctor Stone got announced the other year, and loads of animes got announced there. So, and obviously it's Jump. One thing is that everyone was hoping that for the first time in years, Ichigo would be on. So there's a Jump Festa poster. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Luca, right? But there's always like this big Jump Festa poster, and every year there's always rumors about Bleach coming back, and it's always like, oh, Ichigo's not on the front of the poster. Big sad. It's not coming. But now we've actually got it announced, but he's still not on the poster. Again, but most of the ones on the poster are like current ones and stuff. So like Goku's still on it, which he will always be on it. But then it's also because Dragon Ball Super's running. You have obviously Deku, Luffy, Yuji from my Jujutsu Kaisen. So it makes sense for him not to be on there yet, especially if they're keeping it kind of a secret. But the fact that it's 2021, December 2020, and usually they give these PVs pretty, you know, not far ahead, but pretty ahead of time. Like, it seems like even if it's like in like fall of next year, like this, like almost this time next year, I feel like the first PV might come out there. I really feel it. Even if it's like I said, that teaser, if it's like a 10-second teaser, I feel like we'll get something. Either that or, like you say, it'll be an announcement that's been delayed. But give us some info, you know? Give us some info about the studio and stuff like that. Is it Mappa as well? Is it Mappa? Imagine.
Monopolising the industry.
Yeah. They just own it all the way through the pandemic. But no,
next year's lineup is so we have like Attack on Titan this winter.
Yep.
My Hero in spring.
Yep.
And then to Bleach.
And it's still Bleach, yeah.
Hopefully. That is a madness.
And in person, I hope that JJK comes back for a Series 2 some point that year. But no, maybe not. But we'll see. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like, yeah, again, like you say, it's setting up for like a massive year. And that's even where, like, I know it sounds silly, but obviously it's going to happen. It's Demon Slayer Season 2, right? Like, that's going to happen at some point. Might not be next year. They might wait 2022 because they know they got that hype now. Regardless, in Japan, they've got that crowd. They've got that fan base now. Like Bleach, like that fan base will last for years. You know, it doesn't matter. It could be 10 years down the line, and people are still going to be hyped for it if it came back. You know, like Bleach. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting. Like you say, next year set up to be a brilliant year for anime. But yeah, that's like, there's just so much stuff they can expand on in the anime. There's so much like hype around it. Any new info, like I said, at Jump Festa or something would be greatly appreciated. And if it's just a release date, obviously, as you say, I'd love a poster or a PV. That would be incredible. I would live on that. I would live on those on that content for months. But any new info about it would be brilliant. Like just to see where it's at right now. And maybe some new Burn the Witch news. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Also, we need explanation on that as well. Definitely.
Yeah. I know, like, I know Emon on that, and I do agree with what you guys are saying in terms of, like, obviously it's like it is a completely separate series. I don't want it to be Bleach, right? I want it to be a completely separate series to itself. But at the same time, I don't believe. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't get more of a reference to each other in this series, or like these first 4 chapters we got to Bleach, mainly because like the whole thing, like Burn the Witch being involved with the whole Bleach 20th anniversary project, it still makes me feel like they have big plans to connect it to Bleachverse in more ways than they have so far.
I don't doubt that they will eventually, but I think we're going to be waiting a long time for a full explanation. Is all I'll say.
Yeah, I think that as well. And also another bit of evidence for me is the fact that they ended the episodes, or the film in Japan, the anime adaptation, with the end of the one-shot with the Western branch, Soul Society. So reminding us again, Soul Society, West Branch, you know? They didn't have to do that in that adaptation, but they did it, you know? So, keeping it fresh in our heads. And to be honest, as we said, like that series is a breath of fresh air as well. Just to see Kubo work on something like that again in a way that he wants to do it as well. He hasn't got the pressure either. Like he even said that in interviews after. you know, doesn't feel the pressure of it. He says, I'm actually enjoying it because obviously, like, I think he said something about, like, I wish I'd done it sooner, like the whole, like, periodic chapter releases. He's like, you know, he's got more time to, like, he hasn't got the stress of deadlines every week, you know. He can wait till he's finished and then they can release it all in, like, a 4-week period. Which is fair play to him because he deserves that kind of rest. Like, he's done more than enough work from the sounds of it, like, his schedules and that I heard back in the day, so. But yeah, I just see him
before we wrap it up. I
Yep.
will say, he will be feeling the pressure if he does not give me a Geen light novel.
Yeah, this is the new agenda for shit. We need to start petitions for that shit, honest to God. Please sign if you want to see a Geen Ichimaru light novel for more backstory.
I'll make one and put it in the link to this video.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Then after that we'll be pushing for the film adaptation after the novel comes out. This could be like a 10-year project.
Straight away.
Get all the original voice actors back.
I want a trilogy of that.
Geen Ichimaru trilogy. Oh man, I'd watch that. I'd pay good money. But no, I've enjoyed that chat a lot. I love talking about Bleach. Obviously, don't get to talk about it all the time because it's been, Old and Burn the Wish has been such little news. But it's something I'm passionate about. So, no, I hope we get more opportunities in the future with hopefully new news. You know what?
We'll revisit it as soon as it releases.
You watch. We've been waiting to talk about it for ages. We thought, F it, we'll just do it now. But watch now that we've done it. There'll be a big news about it this week or some shit. Like, we have to do another one. Hello. Like, but no, I've really enjoyed that. I hope if anyone who's been watching this far has also enjoyed our little chat about it. Please let us know your thoughts on the anime adaptation, what your predictions are, what you're most excited for, moment, what fight. I love meeting and like talking to new or like just in general Bleach fans. Just seeing how like anyone in the fan base. So leave your comments. If you did enjoy it, then please consider subscribing. We'll be talking about Bleach and other series about Shonen Jump throughout the weeks as they come, and obviously keep up to date with any Bleach news in every week on the Fillersophical Podcast. If you enjoyed it, then please consider liking. Leave it. Let us know what you think about it, what we can improve. Other than that, we hope to see you next video with Iman and Lou as well. If you enjoyed, then we hope to see you in the next one. Peace.